Hello!
Hey.
I'm Sam,
I'm Chris.
and we were dumb, and we forgot to record this in the podcast you're about to watch.
Which
Yay!
is hysterical because that was our whole reason for recording the podcast this week, and we just
Literally.
went on a 45-minute tangent.
Yes. I don't want to talk about it. Stuff happened. It's fine. It's fine.
But 2018 is the
It's
year
fine.
of Save Point Boy. And what that means is we got a butt's worth of new content coming for you guys this year. If you were to fill a butt with
Like a
content.
Thick.
THICC butt, right? With
New
the Y
content.
in the word butt. Lots of new stuff.
A lot of it.
Wednesdays,
Wednesdays.
we're uploading things. We're straying outside of our Friday and Saturdays.
And sometimes Sundays or Mondays if I was late on editing them.
We don't talk about that. But the idea is we're going to have a new video on Wednesday, and every month it's going to be themed, and each month will be a different theme. What's the theme for this month, Sam?
All right.
Are you ready for this? Hold on. I want to do it with you. This month is the first annual Save Point Fighting Game Championship Series, available exclusively on YouTube.com right here. Boy. Basically what that means is
We
we're
did
going to
not practice that in advance. That's the first time we've ever done that.
3 times we did that
Maybe
before
4.
this video.
It's fine.
What that really means is that we're playing a bunch of fighting games this month.
Starting off with, I believe, Blaze Blue Central Fiction this week.
Sounds right.
Going into some
Tekken 7.
Tekken 7, which I have played 30 seconds of, and Chris has played
0. So that'll be a fun one.
And then going into another game that we haven't played yet. Well, we've played a little bit of, but not the version coming out. Well,
Street Fighter 5.
Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition.
It'll be brand spanking new when we get that sucker. It's gonna be
spanking new.
awesome. And
So
then the
we're filling
last
the butt
one.
with content and then spanking it.
Do we want to say the last one?
That's kind of no.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're already well into January at this point.
3 weeks, 3
At this
Wednesdays.
save point, if you will. Yeah, we do actually have February's theme lined up as well, but you'll hear about that later.
In February.
Yeah.
Or end of January, probably.
Yeah, we'll end of January. We'll be announcing the next month's theme for the Wednesday videos in the week prior on the podcast.
Unless we forget to, and then it'll be one of these at the beginning of the podcast, and you'll be like, man, they should get better at podcasting.
Still counts.
Still counts.
What's up next, Sam?
After that, we will be doing some Patreon exclusive content.
That's
right.
right.
Now we have one patron, but if you want
What's
to
up, Jeff?
get
How you
into
doing?
that, hey, big boy Jeff,
on
it'll
over
be
anytime.
$1 will be the minimum just to
Mm-hmm.
get into the Patreon. So literally for $1 a month, you can get access to. We're doing some long plays.
Yep.
We're still working on the exact what games we'll be starting with. We bounced around some ideas, just some things that'll be like probably on the shorter end that could be fun that you could watch and like
Yeah, it's all of our original pitch ideas for the long play, which is just
us playing through a game.
a full let's play. Yeah.
Yes.
We all chose really long games, and we're like, we don't want to play these for
it's
10
like
weeks.
we're not gonna play like Persona 5 and have it 100-hour long like let's play. 'cause
My
it's a horrible idea.
original idea for it when I brought this to Sam was it was just an excuse for me to play Knights of the Old Republic again, and then I thought that might take like 30 hours to get through, and I don't want to do that. So
Yeah.
we're gonna pick much shorter games.
Think like an Undertale, which I don't think we're gonna play because Chris doesn't want to play Undertale.
But I mean, even just stuff like the Battlefront 2 campaign.
So you want to play something mediocre?
Well, you put Undertale out there, so I mean, I'm just answering,
2015,
I'm just
best game of the
answering
year.
in return.
Best game of 2015.
I highly disagree. But that's the idea: is we're gonna play through games, but the only place you'll be able to see that is on our Patreon.
Yeah,
that's
super
just
excited.
that's just the first thing for Patreon that we're announcing. Now we do have more stuff coming. We're actually throughout the year we're going to be revamping that, which to make it fun for you guys, and then make sure that we can kind of get a little bit of revenue to start putting back into this channel as well. But I mean, we want to give you a good reason to essentially give us money rather than just free videos on YouTube.
In case you're wondering, the extended gameplay, Bloodborne, and all that is coming back to my channel at some point in time.
Hey.
I have it just hasn't yet, but it will. It'll be back.
Hey, we're gonna pull Caleb out of the dungeon at some point.
He's downstairs
Yeah, we
in
haven't
our
been-
neighbor's apartment.
We haven't been feeding him very
Well,
much, and
yeah.
so he hasn't appeared in videos.
Sometimes
and
I
it's a
walk
whole
by
thing.
and I kick him and then I leave him there and I keep going.
That's less than I do. I usually like spit on him a bit. I'll have like a big chicken leg that I'll wave at him as I'm walking by. It's pretty great.
I like to kick him just so he gets a little bit of physical touch and knows that I'm still there, but
No,
Yeah.
I never touch him. I'd have to wash my hands.
that's
That's
fair.
gross.
I'm sorry, Caleb. I love you. And the final thing, as far as new content goes, is starting toward the end of this year, we are doing a little thing tentatively titled Saturday Morning Save Point.
Saturday Morning Save
Yeah.
Point, yes, which is this is something I want to do. It's inspired by Saturday morning cartoons, where we're gonna get up early, and by early I mean we're going to stream probably around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays, like it's Saturday
early for Chris.
like it's Saturday. Shut your mouth. Like it's Saturday morning cartoons, but it's Saturday morning Save Point. You come hang out
You
with
can
us.
wake up, you can make yourself some breakfast, sit in your own, like in your underwear, and where your place of residency. Unless you live in like a public place of residency, then maybe put some pants on.
That's what we'll be doing though, is playing video games in our underwear on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bathrobe baby.
On Saturdays. And yeah, it'll just be fun stuff.
Yeah, just place up, hang out for an hour or two, and then
Just kinda dick
go
around
about
on
our
Saturdays.
Go about our Saturdays.
Yeah. Something that I'd like to see further down that line as well is get the community involved too. Have you guys play with us on Saturdays as well? Put custom games in a multiplayer shooter together or something like that. Like this is all stuff that Fortnite would be so awesome. This is all stuff that we're kind of. We're still throwing ideas at the wall and figuring out what sticks, but the streaming thing on Saturdays is like 100% coming this year, which we're very excited about.
And by that he means it might come in December, but it'll be 2018.
It's not going to be that far. It's not going to be that
on December 31st of 2018.
The plan,
we're streaming.
The plan is to have that be done regularly, probably starting in the spring, because we have to figure out how to stream.
It'll
things.
be a little while. Streaming's a new thing. It's all new to us, really. We've been doing YouTube.
We're learning
for like 3 months.
We're learning literally everything as we go. It's pretty great.
But yeah, so this has gone on longer than I even wanted it to already. So
That's okay. It's a podcast.
Oh, yeah, but they have the whole podcast to go still.
That's not my problem.
It's not a problem.
That sounds like a you problem.
Watch the podcast. Enjoy the podcast you're about to watch. It's pretty good. I think it's been a few days since we recorded it.
I don't even remember it. I'm going to be honest with you. What did we talk about?
It's probably Star Wars.
I bet you it was Star Wars.
It's probably Star Wars. I'm going to go watch the podcast.
I'm going to drink my orange juice.
Podcast donut?
I'm okay, thank you.
Well, why did I buy all these podcast donuts then?
I didn't know you were buying podcast donuts.
I just wanted an excuse to buy a donut.
Fair enough. I'm going to give you a hot take right now, Sam. I hate Tim Hortons donuts
Why?
because they're not good.
What are you talking about?
I don't like them at all.
They're actually good.
They're too doughy.
They're dough nuts.
I understand that.
That's like me, my cake's too cakey. Man, this water, it's so wet.
It's not
My
the same
donut
thing.
has too much dough.
It's not the same thing.
Nut.
I want more nut out of the dough, you know what I mean?
That's blatantly not a thing. Like, no one's like, man, like, unless it's like a specifically like a nutty donut.
You know, when you get like a really like bready donut and it's just like you're just chewing on it the whole time, it's a little too thick. Donuts need to be a lighter, like airy.
I like my donuts
You know what I mean? THICC.
thick. There we go. Tim Hortons got the advertising it deserves.
Please give us money, Tim Hortons.
Wait, you're like, I hate their product. Give us money. I like your product. Give me money.
And then if you have Krispy Kreme's number,
Who?
who are my favorite donuts,
Don't give away free donuts anymore.
and it just hurts my heart.
I'm never wanting a Krispy Kreme again.
That's not true.
I haven't gone since then.
Because that was like 2 weeks ago.
I have a
I was
problem.
just saying, I think we went like 2 weeks. It's not very long.
I have a problem.
Oh lordy, Krispy Kreme, legitimately my favorite donut though. Like you can't be beat it. Can't be beat it.
Can't be beat it.
Can't ba.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm eating a donut, and that's Chris.
hi, I'm Chris, and this.
Save Point Productions. Ow, I'm sorry. I just bumped
Welcome
the mic.
to the Save Point Productions production studio.
You think on our 14th podcast I would be able to not bump my mic?
No, that doesn't sound right.
Well, you're right, because it didn't happen.
Well, I mean, I did the thing where I sat it over here to the side last week, and every time I moved, I hit it. So I've gone back to the original place, and it's just much
So
better.
new year, old Chris.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. New year, new me. Maybe new you sucks.
New Me didn't last very long.
No.
I think it was about a week.
You put back on all that weight that you lost. You moved your mic back. You started doing heroin again. It's like all those things.
I tried to pull back and just stick to cocaine, but I couldn't. It was too much.
Just cocaine.
All right, so here's the real New Me. I don't know, exclusively cocaine. Here's the real New Me is I'm about to just ditch all that and just go straight to methamphetamines.
It's still very hot.
Yeah, I'm Breaking Bad over here. You know what I mean?
This joke's gone on for too long. How have you been, Chris?
Drugless. Woefully lacking in drugs. I'm good, man. I'm real good.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Disclaimer: I don't actually use any drugs. So, here's that.
Disclaimer: I'm severely addicted to cocaine.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Well, actually, that's not true. I do have a caffeine addiction.
I have a severe caffeine addiction.
Which,
you get the shakes?
I don't get the shakes.
I get the shakes sometimes.
I get real bad headaches.
Ooh, headaches.
I'd rather have the shakes.
I get them both. I get headaches every day. I don't have caffeine, and I get the shakes like if it's like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I'm working a closing shift.
Yep.
And I haven't had caffeine yet.
Yep.
That's when I start to feel my hands become unsteady, like Parkinson's.
Well, I have the thing where if I have caffeine but then I don't eat food, then I get the shakes.
But it's just like
But that's also I think because I am hypoglycemic too.
that's just the caffeine shake. That's not
Yeah.
like from not. That's like actually the opposite. It's shakes from having caffeine.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, it's an opposite problem. No, it hasn't been bad enough to where I get the shakes. I mean, as long as I have some caffeine, I'm set. Like, I can just drink a cup of coffee in the morning typically and be fine. Depending on how long that goes, though, because I'll usually have some form of caffeine in the morning and then a little bit in the evening around dinner time, too. And if I skip my dinner time one, then I'm just in a bad mood the rest of the night.
It's a fact.
But the dinner time one, like, I got the sweet tea there, and there's such a minimal amount of caffeine in sweet tea. But, I mean, it's enough. The worst, though, is when I get to work and I realize I'm out of cream, and I don't drink coffee black, so I just don't have it, and then I'm just in a bad mood the entire day.
I, in college, learned to drink coffee black out of necessity. Because sometimes the dining commons does not refill the creamer for a while. Taylor, fix that, please. Don't run out of creamer. It sucks. So, but, like, I had the caffeine addiction, so I needed caffeine.
Yep.
And I also sometimes just need to stay awake in class.
Yep.
And I will say this. I have grown to get I've learned something, all right? I lived on the road this fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would drive up to, the most I drove in one day was 16 hours in
Yep.
one day. But I would, most days, be driving.
It's a lot of
anywhere from-
hours in one day.
Most days it was 4 to 8 hours of driving.
That's only 8 less than an entire day.
Yes. I
That's
didn't
your math
sleep
for the day.
Very much that day. But what I would do is I would sometimes, if I knew I was going to be like out, I would get gas station coffee. Here's why.
Ugh.
It tastes like somebody peed in it. And it's not
I'm-
caffeine that keeps you awake. It's how bad the flavor is in your mouth. It shocks you awake.
I've taken enough road trips to be intimately familiar with. Excuse me. Oh God. I think I'm dying. That was,
Big Wave will do that to you.
just
The
beer in
devil's
general,
juice.
really. The devil's juice. I've taken enough road trips in my life to where I'm intimately familiar with just the. How do I describe the flavor of gas station coffee? I mean, honestly it tastes just like they filled it up with gasoline. You know,
Keep talking.
I'm-
got something.
idiot. Hello, internet. How are you tonight? I'm feeling pretty good. He's grabbing stuff out back there. I can't tell what he's grabbing from here because I'm looking in the confidence monitor. Oh, he grabbed a mug. Different mug. Why'd you get a different mug? Oh, he's pulling his tea bag out. I see. He's been on a real tea kick.
Here's why I'm on a tea kick. I got 60 bags of good tea for $4.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily a tea kick. Like, part of it was like, oh, tea sounds good. Part of it is
I call that a kick.
$4, and I can get 2 uses out of each tea bag. And some people go, oh, you can get more than that. You can get 2 good uses out of a tea bag. So for me, it's like,
You can get 2 uses out of 1 tea bag?
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong.
yeah, dude, that's why you take it out.
I usually go 1.
Nah, dude. So that's 120 cups of tea for $4.
Is that the New Mexico mug?
It is.
Hell yeah, it is.
It is.
It's a great
It's
mug.
the mug I used last.
It's a great mug.
This is my
The white
giant,
one's my favorite, but I do like
my
the New
giant
Mexico
yellow mug that I think I stole from my sister. Also, I made this tea
Suck it, Laura.
minutes, like 5 minutes before I started filming this podcast.
Yep.
It is still too hot to drink.
We hit the record button like the moment he finished making his tea.
I hate my life. Anyway, I had something I was going to say earlier, and now it's just gone.
We were talking about gas.
Oh, yeah, gas station coffee.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the key is do something that's so bad it keeps you awake.
Fair enough. Like heroin.
I mean, I guess. It's a different kind of bad. That, like, breaks the bad.
It breaks bad.
As soon as I said that joke, though, I was like, I had so many regrets the second that came out of my mouth. I was like, this isn't funny. Stop laughing. That wasn't funny. Oh boy! Internet, I'm sorry that I took. That was the lowest. That fruit was hanging so low, touching the ground. I was just like,
I kicked it as I walked by.
Drug jokes and the word bad. Like I just.
Oh man, that was a good one. I loved it.
Gosh dang it!
Actually, you want to talk about a bad joke? Here's a bad joke for you, Sam. Kind of overalls does Mario wear?
What kind?
Denim, denim, denim.
Everyone who like has never played Mario and doesn't know the underwater theme,
That's the underground.
underground theme is gonna be like, oh god.
You know what
sorry,
that
Mom.
means? They never got to the second level in Mario.
A lot of people didn't play Mario.
Why are they watching this show then?
My mom watches this show. My mom played Mario.
Yeah. Mama played Mario.
Listen, my mom's a baller. Don't get me wrong. My mom's a boss hog. It's a fact right there, all right? My mom's not a gamer.
You know what you can do? There's that SNES Classic right over there. You take that, you throw that in the in the living room, you lock the door, you say, I'm not coming back till you play this. And then you take all the milk. Just run out with it.
Why the milk? Why am I taking the milk?
Just pour it out in the yard.
For every minute you don't play this, I'm pouring out another gallon of milk.
Woo. Yeah, it makes it really...
If you don't play it, the milk gets it.
It makes it really hard to have cereal.
It is. My mom eats oatmeal every day, though.
She drinks oatmeal.
I know what you're doing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Our monitor thing goes out.
We'll fix the screensaver thing at some point.
By the next podcast.
Hopefully. I do like oatmeal. Does she use milk in her oatmeal?
I don't know. Like, I think she does, but it's been... You know how long it's been since I watched my mom eat oatmeal?
Fair enough.
Like, I never sat down, like, time to watch my mom eat oatmeal again, but it's like being there while she ate oatmeal.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
It wasn't like an event. Like a family... Guys, family meeting time, mom's eating oatmeal again.
Well, I assumed you just had a really big telescope.
I have a telescope out in our apartment. It was like I found it in my bedroom. I forgot that I owned it. So we can, like, watch stars and look at the sun and stuff.
I've got about 1 billion jokes that I'm trying to decide when, and they all kind of hit at once, and I'm just laughing at myself.
Gosh dang it!
I can't decide on one, so something about being creepy and watching Neighbors. You get the general idea.
In the comments below, make a telescope joke. Now that you made that telescope joke, we'll go and read them later.
It's like I love that you paused like it was one of those things. Like, do you think it was this? Text us now.
Yeah, I wanted the audience to have time.
Yeah,
to like make a telescope joke in the comment, or
we're addressing them like Dora the Explorer,
or to go on Google and just Google telescope joke, which is what I bet everyone is doing. Because who off the top of their head knows the telescope joke?
I could probably throw one together.
Hey, you want to hear a joke? That's not a telescope joke.
No.
I'm gonna tell it anyway.
Okay.
So there's two guys. I heard this joke tonight, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
There's two guys stranded on an island, right? Like their plane crashes.
One eats the other.
Frick. The punchline. So the plane crashes, and the two of them, like the only two guys that swim the shore, right? It's abandoned island. One dude he's freaking. He's like, guys, like I don't know what to do. There's no food. There's no water. We're gonna die. He's like, I want to look around the island. I want to find people. Find food. The first guy's like, oh, whatever. Sits back into trees, kind of relaxes. He's hanging out, right?
Sure.
So the first guy, he's like freaking out, looks for food, comes back. Oh, there are just 3 bananas. I don't know what we're gonna do. Like we're gonna starve.
All right.
Second guy goes, I don't care. I make $5 million a year. The first guy's freaking out. I'm going to find people. Got to be people on the island. Looks around the island, comes back. There's no people. I don't care. I make $5 million a year. I don't go find water. Right? We need water. We got to drink. Right?
Yeah.
Comes back. There's no water. I don't care. I make $5 million a year.
Of course.
And he goes, I don't get it. You usually make $5 million a year, but that's not with us. How does that help us? And the first guy goes, I'm a Baptist. I tithe every week. My pastor's going to find us.
That's a little church humor for you guys today. How you doing?
Heard that joke from a guy named Guy tonight. Elder of a church.
Why are guys
cool guy.
that are named Guy always awesome?
He was a cool guy.
He was a cool guy.
Also, I want to throw it out there. I can give you a counter example to saying guys named Guy are always awesome. Guy Fieri.
I know you ain't talking about my spicy boy.
Listen, Guy Fieri is like...
Why do you roll his R?
That's like how he pronounces
Fieri.
it. Fieri. I'm saying like...
I'm a guy to Fieri.
He looks... Does he wear denim?
Denim.
He looks like he should have been in Sum 41, but then like never got out of that phase.
Yeah, it's the frosted tips like that keeps him there, and like the big sunglasses.
Yeah, that's not awesome.
And kind of chubby, because he eats food for a living.
Makes and eats.
I want his job. I don't think he makes anymore. I think he just makes TV shows about eating food. I want to get paid to make a TV show to travel and eat food.
Who would you rather be, Guy Fieri or Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay.
Is there any professional chef you'd rather be other than Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, I'd agree. Gordon Ramsay's a boss.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. One, because then you don't really spend most of your time, at least not nowadays, getting paid to cook. You get paid to get on TV and yell at bad cooks, which just sounds like the life. Really. But then you also have things like, Kitchen Nightmares is one of my favorite TV shows ever.
Kitchen Nightmares is awesome. Was awesome.
Specifically the British one, because you can swear more in the British one. And it's funnier.
I love that video that circulates on Facebook every few months, where it's like Gordon Ramsay and his kids, and it like juxtaposes shots of him
how lovely
tearing
he
people
is to his
apart,
kids.
and then him just like being the nicest dad in the world.
Well, that's too. It's obviously it's an on-screen persona. I mean, you know, as soon as he shows up on Seven Kitchen Nightmares, it's a character. Like that's all it is. But it's a wonderfully entertaining character that I adore.
Did you ever watch Dinner Impossible?
No.
It was like,
yeah, is it with the big Irish dude?
I don't think
Like,
he was Irish.
huge
He was
dude.
jacked, but he was British, I think.
No, he's Irish.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got another show now. Kitchen Impossible, I think is what it was called. Wasn't it?
He has one called Kitchen Impossible. Dinner Impossible, the first one though.
Okay. I've seen Kitchen Impossible. I don't know if
Dinner
I've specifically
Impossible.
seen Dinner Impossible. Kitchen Impossible is when they like renovate an entire restaurant
Yes.
in like a day.
Dinner Impossible, he had 24 hours to do a restaurant. I think $10,000 in 24 hours.
Right.
For Dinner Impossible, you get an assignment for a meal. You had to feed a certain number of people
Right.
in weird conditions with like really specific circumstances. They had to do that, and they had like 8 hours to make this meal, right?
Huh.
It was so much fun to watch. Old Food Network with Iron Chef was still good.
Iron Chef was.
Dinner Impossible, all of Alton Brown's shows.
Never watched any of them.
He was the guy who hosted Iron Chef.
Oh,
Nerdy
okay.
looking dude. All of Guy Fieri's shows. Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives mostly. Listen, I get...
Which is still like the only show that he's got now.
Yes. And then, I said Dinner and Kitchen Impossible. Like, old Food Network was great.
You know what's still great? And honestly, it has yet to not entertain me, is Chopped. Which is still my favorite Food Network show. In case you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Chopped is it's a cooking... I don't like the term game show, but I guess it is. It's a contest, really, where they bring in 4 people. They have to cook 3 entrees. Like, each round is a different meal. You know, I mean, you have, like, entree, main course, and dessert. I'm sorry, appetizer, entree, and dessert. That's what it is. I'm sorry. But each round, like, somebody gets eliminated up until you get the last one, and they win, like, a bunch of money or whatever the prize is, because it changes. The idea, though, is that they have to or each round they've got these baskets full of ingredients, and they have to incorporate all of the ingredients in the basket into whatever it is that
So it's
they're
like
making.
Iron Chef, how they would get like the secret ingredient that had to be in everything.
Yes, but it's like 6. But they're always weird. Or at least there's always one or two that really throw a loop in it. But the problem is they're all names of and foods that I've never heard of in my entire life. But the first like 5 seasons are on Netflix, and it's super entertaining to watch. I highly recommend it. It's honestly my favorite Food Network show. Bruna and I will sit down together and just watch it for hours. It's great.
I do love a good cook. I might watch that.
You
'Cause
should.
I miss Iron Chef America is my personal favorite all-time Food Network show. I love Iron
Dude,
Chef America.
you'll like Chopped, man. It's a good show. And it's also one of those shows that's really easy to kind of throw on while you're doing other stuff, or sit down and watch it. Like it works for all of that. I like Chopped a lot. So does Brittany. One of my other favorite things that Gordon Ramsay has been doing though is, I mean, he owns like cookbooks or whatever, but he's been putting out like videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw that.
Taking specific recipes from his books. That's how I learned to cook steak. As I use one of Gordon Ramsay's recipes for it, and it's awesome. It's so good and so easy. His pan-seared steak is the best.
He's the kind of guy who I would love to sit down with and just like have dinner with and just hang out.
I
with.
want him to cook dinner for me.
I want to cook dinner for him. Okay, I love when people tweet their pictures of the food they made out of.
Oh, and he just tears them apart.
And you'll rip it apart. It's so funny.
He's a good sport about it. I like that.
Oh, he's so
Yeah.
funny.
Gordon Ramsay's the best.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay, come on the show. Dude,
Hashtag Gordon Ramsay save point.
What
Gordon
if
point.
somebody sent this to
Save
Gordon
Ramsay.
What would you do if someone
Don't
sent
use
this to
that
Gordon
one.
Ramsay and he tweeted at us and was like, "Hey, I want to be on the show. Can I come on?"
Tell him we'll cook for him.
We'd clean the apartment.
We do need to.
We'd really thoroughly clean the apartment.
Or
We won it, and he would yell at us.
we can make an episode of Kitchen Nightmares, except that he just runs through the apartment. He'll get in here and like, we've made you these bagel bites, sir. And then he'll say something really mean about it, and I'll go home and cry.
And then you'll take them and you'll shove it in the trash can and tell us to go like screw off,
Piss off.
Yeah,
He's British. You gotta use the piss off.
piss off, mate.
Piss off, ghost.
You what, Maya? Piss off, ghost.
It's one of my favorite jokes
Best
from
line
Thor Ragnarok.
in that movie, I think.
Piss off, ghost. Yeah,
I think it's the best line in that movie.
I don't know, man. The whole bit about with Korg accidentally stepping on Meek.
No, best line in the movie is Thor's. One time when we were children, Loki turned himself into a snake. He was, "I love snakes." When I picked it up, he turned back to himself, said "boo," and stabbed me. While Loki just laughing.
What's
in the
even
corner.
better is he's smirking, and the Bruce Banner gives us this look like, "What's wrong with you?" It's so funny. Oh man! Oops, screensaver. Hold up.
I swear we're going to fix this. Maybe by next week we'll fix this. Man, Ragnarok, such a good movie. But we talked about Marvel last week, so let's not talk about Marvel more this week.
Did we talk about Marvel last
Yeah.
week? I don't even remember.
We talked about Marvel fatigue last week. A lot of Marvel.
We did talk about Marvel fatigue, but you know what is awesome are Marvel movies, and how much I enjoy them. I really want to do the marathon thing. I forgot to watch Iron Man last week though.
I just don't, because it's a lot of Marvel movies.
I'm sitting on my shirt.
I don't have that much time to watch movies. I think what little free time I have.
I think one movie a week is pretty doable.
That's like, I could be playing Persona during that time.
Yeah. There's not a lot of games that I'm really playing right now.
I'm just pining to finish Persona. I started the Horizon Zero Dawn Frozen Wilds DLC, and it's great.
I'll probably get into that at some point.
It's like $15 if you have PS Plus too.
That's not bad. I reinstalled The Old Republic.
I saw that. You were playing that last night. We sat.
Yeah, it's fun.
Chris and I took some nerd time. We sat at the kitchen table together. Both put headphones on and didn't interact.
It was fabulous. Loved it. Well, I mean, that's because you had your headphones in and you were playing League with Caleb.
I was playing League with friend
Colonel
of the
Tater.
channel, Caleb Sanders.
Friend of the channel, Colonel Tater. Follow him on Twitch.
I don't think he streams anymore.
Follow him anyway.
Follow
Send him
on
a message. Send him lots of messages and say, "Why aren't you on Twitch anymore?"
Twitch. His league is It's a Green Mario.
I'm sorry, Green
I'm
Mario.
sorry, Green. Mama, why do you always forget me?
I'm sorry, Green Mario. It's one of my favorite comics ever. Yeah, I already saw The Old Republic. I was fiending for some old EU Star Wars, and
You already played through Knights of the Old Republic like this month.
I did finish Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah. the light side story. I just started this today on my break at work. Actually, I started my dark side playthrough on my phone. Having mobile next to Old Republic for me is bad for me. Yeah, so I started playing Old Republic again because expansions notwithstanding, the core story of the game is very, very good. And I mean, the gameplay is basically World of Warcraft, which I played and enjoyed. And so World of Warcraft lightsabers is appealing to me. And I mean, yeah, it's simple. They've altered it so that all of like the strikes and flashpoints and stuff can be played solo. And they boosted like the amount of XP that you gain over the course of the whole thing, so it actually doesn't take as long to get to level 50.
Well, it's interesting. I watched Clean Prince Gaming, who does those mini docs that I watch a bunch. I'll sign out if you've never watched Clean Prince Gaming on YouTube. Dude's amazing. He makes 2 to 3 mini documentaries a week. They're usually like 15 to 20 minutes over relevant topics. He did one today actually.
Don't shit on other people's YouTube shows.
Yeah, he's really good though. His production quality is like makes ours look poopy.
Don't advertise for other people unless they're paying us, like Tim Hortons.
Like Tim Hortons did not pay us. These donuts I paid for them myself. I paid Tim Hortons to have them on our channel. But if you want to give me free donuts, Tim Hortons will eat them on the channel and eat them all the other stuff too.
Sam will be the only one that'll eat them.
Probably will.
I don't want your things, Tim Hortons.
Tim,
Mr.
Tim, get the frick out of here. But anyway, so he did a video today on Final Fantasy 14, and it was like
that's the MMO, right?
Yeah, so good. I played the crap out of it.
Nerd.
Loved it. My favorite MMO of all time. It's such a fun game.
Ooh.
And the things he points out on it is basically that they did a great job of making it so you could play it, do what I did, play it by yourself. I had one friend, freaking Dorn. If you ever watched this, I'm still mad at you. Dorn and I started playing it together, and then Dorn, like 2 weeks in, was like, I started playing this other MMO, and then stopped playing it with you. He started playing Path to Exile or whatever.
That game sucks.
According to Dorn, it's great. Dorn, Chris, you heard it here first. Path of Exile sucks, Dorn.
Actually, no, I just wanted to say that.
Dorn. Shh.
Yeah,
Dorn. Dornosaur. Either way.
I love you, Dorn. Please don't be mad at me.
So anyway, he started playing. So I played the game solo, right?
Yep.
And it felt like just playing a Final Fantasy game. Like the story is fantastic, cutscenes are great, characters are great, and what he points out is the direction that MMOs are going.
Yep.
MMOs have realized that the average gamer who's getting older has less time.
Yes.
Right? As gamers are getting older, gamers are having kids, which is weird to think of. You're getting married, getting full-time jobs.
They're reproducing.
The kid who was 12 and could play RuneScape every morning before school, which is my old roommate when he was in middle school, he said he woke up at 4 every day to like grind in RuneScape.
Oh, heck yeah. That was like every Saturday morning for me. It was RuneScape, man.
Yeah, but he did it before school. Brody goes in.
I wasn't allowed to play video games during the weekdays.
I'm sorry.
My grades started failing after a while, so.
But either way, so the idea is that generation who would just dump time into games can't do that because we have responsibilities.
But they still want people to play their games.
Yes.
So they'll make it easier to get through them.
Mm-hmm. You can get through them faster. They make it so you can be a solo player.
Yeah.
So you don't have to. Because before you'd be like, oh, how can I coordinate my schedule with my raid party?
Yeah.
Well, now you can do maybe not raids would never really be a solo thing, but like other activities are becoming solo things.
Strikes or flashpoints or whatever you want to call them. Yeah.
Yes. Strikes from Destiny 2, which Destiny 2, you were so fun at first.
It's been so much fun watching Sam go through the MMO flowchart of feelings.
But I didn't have any of that with Final Fantasy 14. 14 was just good from start to finish, and I miss it more than I should.
I don't think I've ever missed an MMO.
I legitimately would love to play the expansions of 14 because I've heard they're incredible. Mm-hmm. I just don't have like 50 hours. Like I played it all in college. When I was in college, I had 50 hours to just like dub into a game. Spring break last year, literally played like 10 hours a day of that game.
You know,
I can't do that.
It's funny that you bring that up, though. I would say that we're probably like the generation of like MMO players.
I think it's like just before us.
I don't know, dude. I played the hell out of World of Warcraft.
Well, yeah, but when I think the typical like World of Warcraft player, I think they're a little bit older than us.
You think?
Maybe your age because you're an old man.
I'm like 3 years older.
None of
Sam.
RuneScape was my friends.
Well, I mean, I played RuneScape too.
But like WoW was less my friend.
We played RuneScape, but we also played WoW. WoW was around long enough where when we got tired of RuneScape, we moved up to WoW. But I mean, even then, there was only like 1 or 2 expansions at the time. I think we would have joined in around Wrath of the Lich King, which was the 3rd expansion.
Wrath of the Lich King, I remember I had a few friends who played. That's when my friends who did play WoW, that's when they started playing WoW, was Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, I think for most people it was either Wrath or Burning Crusade.
But
I think the people that started out in Vanilla WoW are definitely older than us.
oh, well, if you started Vanilla WoW, you're probably like in your 30s now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, you give it like 2, 3, maybe even 4 years after that. I think WoW was insanely popular when it started, but it got even more popular once the expansion started coming out, which only took it like a year or two.
Yeah.
And so around the time of Wrath of the Lich King, which I don't necessarily want to say Wrath of the Lich King, which whatever the second expansion was the one I joined in. I don't remember whether it's Burning Crusade or Wrath of the Lich King because I picked all three of them up at the same time.
Somebody's angry right now.
Oh, somebody's
Because we're wrong.
yeah.
Somebody's like, oh, they're wrong.
I didn't care about.
While they stroke their neck beard.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't care about WoW that much. I honestly prefer the Old Republic too. The production value is so much better. Not that I'm hating on WoW or anything. WoW, I think will always have an insane legacy in gaming and pop culture in general. I thought WoW, nothing had ever seen anything like it before. It was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, WoW is the D&D of video games.
Oh yeah,
100% is the D&D of video games.
Absolutely.
Everyone has
Sorry,
played WoW.
BioWare and all of your Dungeons and Dragons game, but WoW stole that from you.
Everyone has played WoW at some point in time. Who's a gamer? Every gamer has at least tried WoW before.
I'd say so, or at the very least, they're aware of it.
Oh, I think every person alive under the age of 50 is aware that WoW exists.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean that's how crazy its reputation was, but that was also at a time when gaming had not quite hit that pop culture level yet.
I still don't. Is there a modern game?
On the scale of WoW?
Call of Duty, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say maybe COD.
Where, like, everyone knows it. Like, your parents know what it is.
Yeah, probably.
Your grandma has heard of this game
I
before.
mean, if we're not counting stuff like Super Mario or Pokemon, I'd say probably Call of Duty.
Yeah, okay, because Pokemon Super Mario aren't even just games anymore. They're TV show. Super Mario not as much. Pokemon the TV show, the card game.
Yeah, they're movement.
Pokemon is a cultural thing more than anything else. It's a brand.
Especially in the 90s. Oh my god. Late 90s, early 2000s was the real Pokemania.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm sorry, like kids who weren't around for that, but it was amazing.
It's had a bit of a resurgence. Sun and Moon were so popular.
Sun and Moon was a big deal.
And kids are back into Pokemon.
So was,
Pokemon.
So was honestly X and Y, even though the games weren't all that. Yeah, I wasn't too big in X and Y.
I never finished Y. I will probably never finish
Sun and
Y.
Moon are great. I'm thinking about picking up the Ultra Moon here soon.
Did you play Sun or Moon on your first playthrough?
I played Moon. I liked Moon. Yeah. Moon was good. I liked it. It's based in Hawaii. It's great. Yeah, I don't know that. I think I'd have to agree and say that Call of Duty is probably the modern equivalent of COD of WoW,
itself.
of WoW nowadays. To where it's got that pop culture relevance, but at the same time, gaming in general has a much bigger pop culture relevance. To where it's kind of hard to measure that out.
It will never be what it was. Then. Right? When if you watch, one of my favorite bits to be mad at watching is that old memed Fox News bit where they're talking about sex in Max Effect 1 and no one has any idea what they're talking. You know that bit I'm talking about.
I remember
where
seeing that.
No one has any idea what they're talking about. They don't know anything about video games. That will never happen again because people understand the medium now.
That's funny because Fox still does that.
I haven't seen with video games.
Shots fired at Fox.
Either way.
I don't like them.
Either way. I don't think we'll ever see that again.
No.
Because people understand gaming now. At a better level.
To an extent. You could argue that, people are always going to alter the media to, sensationalize it.
But that went beyond pure
I'm saying I can
sensationalization.
see Fox specifically doing that, or like CNN. I feel like you do. But you gotta look more at stuff like Kotaku or something to get an actual you know what I mean? I agree with you. I agree with you to a certain extent.
I don't go to Kotaku for my gaming news.
Why not? They're pretty on point.
Pleb. I'm a Polygon guy.
Polygon's way worse, dude.
I like Polygon.
I don't like Polygon.
I'm a big fan. A couple of the guys who the D&D podcast I listen to work for Polygon.
Fair enough.
So because of that, I've grown to like Polygon.
Anything I see Jason Schreier's name on from Kotaku, I'm going, oh yeah, that dude gets.
I like Jason.
That dude gets details, man. Oof.
Also, I'll throw it out there. Did you read Polygon's top 500 games of all time list?
No, because I didn't have the time.
It's
What's number one? Is it Ocarina?
no number
Why is it
one
Ocarina?
was
Super Mario.
Tetris.
Okay, I guess.
Pong was top 10, I think. The list to me was bad.
That
And
doesn't
I
sound-
realized
that doesn't sound good.
I
yeah.
haven't been around for like the 30 years of gaming that have existed to this point, or 40, however many long the games first started since
Right.
Pong came out, right? There were some games on there that I'm like, these aren't great. There
I
were some games.
understand that some of those games like Pong or Tetris has that historical relevance, but I don't think that should put them in the top 10.
Yeah, well, like, there were some games on there that I was like, Ocarina was in the 60s, I think, which
I
blew me
hardly
away.
disagree with that.
64 was pretty high, Super Mario. A game that
Damn better be.
surprised me for how high it was The World Ends With You, which is my all-time favorite game. Spoiler alert, The World Ends With You, my favorite game of all time. It was in the top 200, I believe, which is higher than I ever thought I would see that on any list, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know anyone knew what that game was.
That's awesome.
Um,
We love The World Ends With You around here. We're big fans.
it's my all-time favorite
It's
game.
literally Sam's favorite game.
I can't tell you how much time I have spent trying to design a World Ends With You tattoo. I just haven't come up with anything good yet.
It's hard to nail that style too. Freaking, because it had the artist from Kingdom Hearts, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a Square game.
Super anime-inspired art.
Yeah, but it's also real like street punk.
It's graffiti. It has a graffiti.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
anime
yeah.
graffiti.
Yeah. It's dope. It really is.
Speaking of anime graffiti, just anime really, there's a new show on Netflix called Devilman Crybaby. That's getting rave reviews.
Really?
So Netflix, about 6 months ago maybe, Netflix grabbed the licenses to like 8 or 12 different shows,
Yeah.
anime shows that were coming up.
Yeah.
They weren't making, but that was like, it was basically these shows.
I'm going to apologize for a second. I'm going to move my mic
I'm
out a bit.
sorry. I'm
we go.
sorry. Basically, the shows had already been made and were about to air in Japan, and how the industry works is you make a show, and before it airs in Japan, it gets basically bought and licensed,
Mm-hmm.
not bought, but licensed by an American company to dub it and then release it in America.
Sure.
It gets localized,
Yeah.
basically. So Netflix bought localization rights for a number of shows.
Okay.
Some of which I'm very excited about. Fate Apocrypha already came out. I love the Fate series.
Nice.
I've heard it's just okay. I haven't watched it yet. But one of those Devilman Crybaby, which I'd heard good things about.
I keep
heard
hearing Devil May Cry, and I know that's right, but
Devilman Crybaby.
I know. It's just, that's where my brain immediately goes, which I get really excited and then really sad.
I do like Devil May Cry. But yeah, I heard really good things about it. That's just more of like a side note than anything else. Like everyone,
Cool beans.
I follow a few anime tubers and some anime people in the anime community on Twitter, and they've all been blowing up about it.
You know, it
so-
was surprisingly good, because I'm not a big anime fan.
it's true.
Just in general. I was as a teenager. For background for you guys, I was as a teenager. I got into the pretty typical shonen stuff: Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, that sort of thing. But I got really into the Ghibli movies, and then
I think everyone should be into the Ghibli movies.
well, yeah, I mean they're essentially Japanese Disney, which is hilarious because they're made by Disney.
Well, localized. They're localized
by Disney, yeah.
Yes.
Although, I mean, it's to the point where Bob Iger actually has some like creative input on those movies. It's a really cool relationship. But I mean, Disney's also very big in Japan. Fun fact. At around like 15 or 16, I kind of got out. It wasn't that I
got out.
It wasn't that I hated it or disliked it or anything. I just my interest kind of veered from it. And so
What is pretty typical.
yeah, and so I still like a lot of the stuff that I liked back then. And there's a handful of like newer stuff that I enjoy. I think Your Name is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's my favorite animated movie of all time.
At this point, but for the most part, I'm super into it. I will sit down and watch some just awful ass stuff like Pokemon, like the original Pokemon series.
And you watched some Bebop with me when I watched it through
Yeah, I
Bebop
watched
a ways
Bebop.
back. You watched a little bit of One Piece with me all through One Piece.
I liked Bebop. I do like One Piece. I mean, I still enjoy a lot of that. It's just I'm not going out looking
Yeah.
for new stuff, and most of the new stuff just doesn't appeal too much to me.
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man was really good.
One Punch Man is so good.
One
Watch
Punch Man was really
It's
good.
so good.
Which coming from me, yeah, you know it's gonna be good. The Castlevania miniseries that
I
Netflix
forgot about
did
that.
is
Yeah.
so good. There's only 5 episodes or something like that. You can finish it in like an hour. But I mean, it's clear that there's going to be a season 2, and I think they're working on it at the moment.
It's been confirmed.
Yeah,
to my knowledge.
I mean,
So,
good. It better have been because it ends on a gigantic cliffhanger. It's honestly, it's like, it felt like a pilot, like they were kind of feeling out the audience.
Cliff hanger hanging from a cliff.
And that's why
they call him Cliff.
Uh,
Between the Lions, great children's TV show.
good old ABC throwback. Or PBS, I guess that
Yeah,
was.
PBS.
Yeah.
It aired around the same time as like Cyber Chase, Liberty's Kids, Arthur.
I recognize all this. I recognize Arthur. I recognize the names of those other two. I didn't watch them. But I mean, for me, it's like I would watch Between the Lions because it came on after Sesame Street, which is the goat of children's entertainment.
Sesame Street's pretty great.
Sesame Street and the Muppets.
I'm a huge Muppets guy.
Basically anything that Jim Henson touched. Yeah.
I still watch the Muppets though.
Muppets are hilarious. Well, I mean, they're not in children's education, like edutainment. Muppets entertainment. Sesame Street is edutainment. Edutainment, yeah. But I mean, it's all Jim Henson
Sesame
stuff.
Street is for sure the pinnacle of edutainment.
Absolutely. It's the best.
My kids will watch Sesame Street.
Yep,
for sure.
absolutely.
That and like Zaboo. You watch Zaboomafoo?
Zaboomafoo was awesome.
Love Zaboomafoo.
Have you seen have you seen any of it recently? I saw some like it was just like a short clip of in some other video on YouTube, like somebody had put it in their video. But I was sitting there and I was like, oh no, this is not good.
I don't think it was ever good.
Nah, but we were kids.
The saddest moment that I had like toward the end of my high school time was when the original lemur that played the Zaboomafoo died.
I actually remember hearing that, and I was legitimately upset.
I remember just being like devastated.
I was sitting there. I was like, well, one, I was amazed. I was like, I don't know, it was still alive. It was given to me and then taken away again.
Oh, he's alive, but wait, no, he's
yeah,
not.
I was like, he was alive this whole time. I had no idea.
I would have gone to visit more.
I figured like they only live like what 8 years.
I guess, but apparently they live longer than that.
Because I would have been like 16 by the time I wasn't watching Zaboomafoo when I was 8.
Yeah, I was
young.
I'm sorry. I was more upset by the death of Zaboomafoo than maybe any celebrity death besides like Robin Williams.
I was gonna say Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, besides Robin Williams,
Christopher Lee,
maybe Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher.
The person who was hit by Carrie Fisher's death more than anyone else I know was my mom. Cause they're like the same age.
Yeah,
She's like, my mom identifies with Carrie Fisher a lot.
makes sense.
So she was like, my mom cried a lot in The Last Jedi. But I think crying in The Last Jedi is totally justified.
Bernie cried a lot in The Last Jedi too. All of the Carrie Fisher scenes, yeah.
Still throw it out there.
Good
Carrie
movie.
Fisher should have died in that scene. Sorry, not Carrie. Princess Leia should have died in
They
that
just killed her on set. Instead of a lightsaber prop, they just hit her with a stick.
There's nothing secret.
No, it's a YouTube show.
Leia should have died in that scene. I will stand by that.
Yeah, I guess.
It would also fix a lot of problems they have going into the next movie.
It was they finished the filming before Carrie Fisher passed away.
I know.
There was no changing it at that point.
But like, what do they do? Like, they can't kill her off screen.
Well, they're going to. There's going to be a time jump between these next two movies.
I know, but that's just like,
I can only assume that they're going to hold some sort of funeral for Leia, and then the role that she was going to play will most likely end up being played by Ghost Luke. Because the idea was, and JJ had said this from the beginning, or at least after Force Awakens came out and he's actually allowed to talk about the plot details of Force Awakens, was that the way they'd set it up was that if you take the three original characters from the original movie, you got Han, Leia, and Luke. The first movie was Han's. Second one was Luke's. Third one was going to be Leia's. They can't do that anymore. Our princess was taken away from us. So now they have to go back and readjust, which I think might honestly have a big part of why JJ is now directing 9 instead of Colin Trevorrow, but also because Colin Trevorrow, I mean, the biggest thing he's done so far I think is Jurassic World, which was purely okay at best. So I'm really happy to have JJ on instead of Colin.
I don't know. I am excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm very, very, very excited about 9. but it's tepid excitement because they open a door to go wherever they want,
Yeah.
and I really hope I like where they go. It will be really easy to screw up. It'll be easier to make 9 just crap than to make 9 good.
I think you could have said that about the previous 2 movies. Though,
Force
too.
Awakens not as much because Force Awakens.
Well,
their-
yeah,
their
nobody
ide-
had any idea what Force Awakens was going to be. I remember going to Force Awakens thinking, I don't know if this movie is going to be good or not.
But like with their idea, is what I'm saying. Their idea of Force Awakens is
I
make-
know, but again.
make New Hope again. That would be hard to screw up unless you just like copy New Hope
Well,
too
there were a
much.
lot of people that didn't like it.
It's dumb. If you don't like that movie, you're dumb.
Dumb.
Great movie.
Dumb.
That okay? Why don't I hear people who say the more I watched it, the less I liked it? With Force Awakens, the more I watch Force Awakens, the more I like Force Awakens. I like it more now than I ever did before.
I
watched it
don't think
3
I'll ever like it
times.
more than I did that first time I watched it, but I still love it.
I watched it 3 times in December, and every time I liked it a little bit more.
What, this past December?
Yeah, like last month.
Yeah. I watched it twice last month, actually.
I think 2 of them I was with you. At
It's
least
a-
one of them. At least
one
one
of
of them
them.
I was with
One
you.
of them you were, yeah.
So I watched it once with my own, once with my mom, once with you. So I
One of
watched
them
it
you
3
were, yeah.
times.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
But I mean, and I mean, even then with it's like there were so many directions that they could have taken. Really, any of the plot points from 7 and going into 8 as well. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I think that could have been said of any of the previous movies, where it's like they could very easily screw this up.
There's something about 9 that feels like there's more of a risk.
Well,
Mostly
yeah, because
of
8
the-
was a huge risk.
Mostly because of the risks that Ryan Johnson took with the last like third of 8.
Mm-hmm.
When
Well,
he,
I'd say
flipped the script.
there are a lot of risks taken in 8, and a lot of them worked, some of them didn't, and that's fine. It's honestly, it doesn't bother me anywhere near as much as it did the first time I watched the movie.
No, not at all. The second, if you didn't like Last Jedi, please watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's better the second time around.
There's so much more you pick up on around, and I mean,
yeah, it's
No-
so much better the second time around.
for me personally, I was so fixated on what was going to happen that it almost stopped my enjoyment of what was happening.
Yeah.
And to the point where I remember like being upset about character deaths or whatever, and I was like, that wasn't how I thought that was going to happen. Never in my life did I think that they were going to kill Snoke in that movie, for instance. And then they did, and you know what? It's a great movie, and I'm super okay with it.
That scene was cool, so it makes up for it.
Oh my god, yeah, it was. Everything in the throne room was incredible. Every single scene in the throne room was incredible. It's just so well done. But no, I think I'm going into 9 the same way I went into the last 2, where I'm just like, there's a lot of ways that they could approach this, and I'm not sure how they're going to do it. Now, because we've seen what JJ can do with the Star Wars universe, I think I'm a little less worried about 9 than I was initially going into 7. Because I'm like, JJ can make a good Star Wars movie. I've seen it already. So I mean, I'm not super frazzled about that. I'm just curious on how he's going to handle things like not having Carrie Fisher, how he's going to reintroduce the Knights of Ren, like that sort of thing.
I mean, some of that's also Ryan Johnson who's writing it.
Ryan Johnson's not writing it.
Oh, he's not writing it anymore because he dropped writing it to.
He wasn't never writing it.
I thought he was still writing 9, but then dropped it when he got his
He
trilogy.
was never writing 9.
I thought he was writing 9.
Nah, Abrams was always writing 9.
Why did they have the same person write all 3? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Abrams was not involved in 8 at all.
I know, but why? Why make a trilogy and have somebody different write the middle of a trilogy? That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's not that they're going in with these things. I mean, they literally have an entire team of people dedicated to keeping storytelling in direction, that sort of thing. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy's not going to let somebody come in here and wreck the story that they
Well,
have
no.
planned out.
I agree with that, but I'm just saying, like,
Which, by the way, I don't know if you've seen this recently. George Lucas's treatment for the sequel trilogy got out, because originally he was creating a sequel trilogy before he sold to Disney. Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill had both signed on to do more movies before the Disney buyout. Fun fact. And he wrote a treatment that had somehow made its way. I think it's honestly just the way that George phrased it when he made the statement about how he's like, no, they ignored my treatment. Actually, they really didn't. You can find it on r-Star Wars Leaks, and it's actually a lot of the points are really similar to both Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. There's a lot of George Lucas's stuff in The Last Jedi. It's really cool.
Maybe that's the stuff we don't like about Last Jedi.
Maybe.
Listen, George Lucas, you're a genius world maker. One of the best world makers in the history of cinema.
It's not a lot of. It's
You're
just,
a bad storyteller.
It's just general concepts. It's not details. Really.
He's a great world builder. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. And
Such a great world
and
builder.
a lot of that makes it in the movies still. So it's really cool to know that there's still the spirit of George Lucas in Star Wars. I don't think I would want it any other way.
All of the spirit of George Lucas I need is when I see Lucasfilm at the beginning. That's it. I don't need any more of
Not
George
necessarily.
Lucas.
George Lucas still knocked it out of the park with the OT, man.
Yeah, but I'll say this. George Lucas, I know you know the whole story of him actually making the OT. I don't have to tell you that story. If you're interested, there's a lot of videos on it. You can just watch that, right? He went to crazy lengths to make his dream come true with the OT.
Crazy lengths to make the original Star Wars
I respect
movie.
that so much. But he has made some decisions with the prequel and with like his changes of the OT and like
He's changed his mind a bunch since then.
and there's some of them are just dumb.
Yeah, no, I agree. But there's something that feels necessary, that just kind of feels wrong about talking about Star Wars with like completely removed from George Lucas.
I would agree with that in general.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's nice that they didn't throw George Lucas's stuff out the window when they took over it. That's all I'm saying is I don't know that I'd want George to write another Star Wars movie. But if I were to ever see him in public, I would never bring up any of that. I would just go up to him and say, "Thank you for my childhood." I mean, really, he created like my favorite thing ever. So,
Man,
I love George.
if we're throwing things out the window
Mhm.
and you want to throw some money out the window, we have a Patreon.
We do.
It's kind of like throwing the money out the window, except it goes out of your window and into our window.
It's basically
Electronically.
window. Let's be honest.
Give
Throw
us-
it out of your electronic window and into our physical pockets.
so we can make videos and advertise them and get more views and then make more videos. It's a really cyclical process. It's kind of sad, actually.
We don't actually get to keep any of the money.
Nope.
It goes right back into this. But I mean, that's cool.
Ads are expensive.
If you like our stuff and enjoy what we do and want to see us get better,
Or worse.
probably worse. Yeah, hit up our Patreon where we will then take the money to spend on better equipment and things such as that to then produce better content for you.
Thanks
So
for watching.
really,
Ooh.
what
Oh.
you're doing is just buying yourself better quality poop from us. I mean,
High quality turds.
yeah, we take it and we shine it a bit, and then there you go. That's
We
$5.
mold it into something, let it dry out in the sun. Like, look, mommy, it's an elephant made out of poop. The poop-a-fin. An elepoop. I've been Sam, that's been Chris. Thanks for watching Save Point Productions.
They're not gonna give us money after that.
We're going to go build stuff out of our feces.
Oh, come up with a better tagline next
Can I
time.
make a lightsaber? Like a poop lightsaber?
I don't see how that would work, Sam. How would you get the crystal in it?
Don't worry
You
about
had to eat it.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's going to hurt coming back out.